This is Monday with the Mayor on 18 WJTS. I'm Bill Potter, and I am in Loogootee, Indiana, as we are at Loogootee City Hall talking with Mayor Noel Harty. And Mayor, this morning you honored a past mayor of Loogootee.
We, several of us from the community, traveled to Crane Base, and former Mayor Don Bowling, who was in for 2 terms. He was in until 2011. And what first thing that's unusual about Mayor Bowling was when he came in office, he was age 75, and when he left, he was age 83. He was actually the oldest mayor in Indiana. So we all traveled this morning to Crane Base to recognize him, and Becky Skillman, former lieutenant governor, was there along with all of the leadership, which I had never been in a room with all of the senior leadership at Crane at one time, so I thought that spoke volumes. And they recognized Mayor Bowling because of his activity most in '05 with the BRAC. Many of us remember that time, and there was some serious talk about the base closing. And Mayor Bowling and, at the time, Lieutenant Governor Skillman had gotten on a helicopter and traveled to St. Louis, Missouri. And it has been noted several times that, several spoke and so forth, and there was 8 different bases represented that day, but it was Mayor Bowling's speech that really stood out and kept the base going. So he was honored for that this morning. Next thing we have going this week, of course, throughout all of Indiana, is the sectional. Loogootee plays Vincennes Reveille tomorrow night, and then of course when they win that, they'll be taking on Bar Eve, because Bar Eve got the bye on Friday night. And then, of course, on Saturday night, we won't know who's in the final round. So we've got that going this week, is across all of Indiana. The last thing that I will talk about, and we'll see if there's anything that you have, is on the 18th of March. We typically try to stay around St. Patrick's Day. The Chamber of Commerce, which is the county one, will be having a dinner at 6:00 p.m. at St. John's Center. And this year, our guest speaker is the governor of Indiana.
Wow.
Gary Holcomb. We're very excited about that. Last year we had the mayor of Gary, Karen Freeman Wilson. She was an outstanding speaker. And year before that we had Doug Carter, who's the state police superintendent. So we've had a lot of great speakers, but this year it'll be hard next year to top the governor.
Right. Well, if somebody wants to go to that, what should they do?
They need to call, actually they can call my cell phone if they'd like, 295-6506. Tickets are only $20. And if you want to buy a table for the good of the cause, it's $250. I think you'll be hard-pressed to probably find an event that's much more reasonable than that'll have the governor speak. Right. So, especially in the evening, and it's a full catered meal. Carlos Country Catering caters that, and as many of you know, she does a great job.
Now, I guess we're going to have to assume you're going to be a Loogootee fan for the sectional. Based
for
on
the
your
sectional,
tie?
Yes, I will be. If Loogootee is not fortunate enough to make it in the final game, and Shoals is, which could be, I will probably switch gears if Loogootee's not in it and go with the Jug Rocks. So they're both county schools and both in our county and both near and dear to my heart. And Shoals has never won a sectional. So they've won a volleyball, 5 volleyball sectionals, but never won a basketball sectional. So we hope the Lions is in that final game, but if not, we'll be rooting on the Jug Rocks.
Well, a lot of times in a community like this, you're for your team, but you're also for all the other teams.
And as you probably know, I have a mayor's youth council like Mayor Spinner does, and mine includes, and I was the first to do this in the state, was to include 2 high schools. And so Shoals and Loogootee are both included in our mayor's youth council. So. Yep.
And how does the youth council work? Can you talk a little bit about that?
This year we have not met as often. The goal in the past 2 years, we've met once a month, and we've tried to come up with some different projects and so forth. This year we've been meeting every 6 to 8 weeks, and we've been a little slower, but we are planning on doing a fundraiser, and it probably will end up being this spring for the Shoals ballpark. They've got several things going on, so they're wanting to really make some upgrades and maybe possibly put in a fountain and so forth, and so that's going to be our main goal this spring. So, and I'm hoping many of them can obviously attend the chamber dinner.
All right, well, excellent. Thank you very much for talking with us.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me.
We have been in Loogootee, Indiana, talking to Mayor Noel Harty. Thank you for watching Monday with the Mayor on 18 WJTS. We're local people watching local people.